Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to First Cup. We're calling it that, and we might change the name, but here's the gist of it. I'm going to join you with my first cup of coffee every morning and tell you what's going on with me with Whistlekick, and it's going to be completely different from the podcast that many of you are going to be familiar with. It honestly, the podcast is like 99% of the content that we have on YouTube, but it's time to add something. We're not getting rid of the podcast, and the podcast isn't going to a video format because there's a lot of complications with that. But the gist of it is, I'm gonna have some coffee and talk to you about what's going on. It's gonna be really free form, and I'm gonna screw it up. And great example, like I said, I promised myself I was gonna wear a Whistlekick shirt for this, and I'm not. Um, but I've got my Whistlekick mug, and I've got my Whistlekick necklace. And yeah, so wow, there's people watching. There's people watching live. This is crazy. We will post them for later on. So we can kind of call this episode 0. I'm looking at doing like just a few minutes, 3, 5. I guess maybe if I get long-winded, which I'm prone to do, we might do, 8, 10 minutes. But I guess I have to drink my coffee because that's kind of the gist of this show. Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on at Whistlekick? I woke up this morning to Sensei Scott Bolin messaging me saying, "Hey, Martial Journal is down." I was like, "Oh my god," because I hate when stuff breaks. For those of you that don't know, I did IT. I was in IT from 2001 to. Well, I started my own business in 2001, but I was involved starting in the summer of '98. So from '98 through 2014, I was in IT and fixing people's computers and websites. And one of the things that drove me crazy about it was the immediacy that if a website was down or a computer was broken, it had to be attended to pretty much right away. So yeah, so I got that message and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I was trying to do some work on Martial Journal, try to make it a little bit faster. And the settings that I punched in, I didn't think took, and they really didn't, but they half took, and things broke. So that's what we had. Things broke, and I think it's gonna work. We gotta wait a few hours to see if that fix takes. What else? What else is going on? It's really hot here in Vermont. Also, you may notice I'm really distracted. I can't look at what I'm looking at and look at where is it? There it is. Look at the camera, and that always weirds me out. So I'm trying to focus on that and not look at me, and that's really hard. I think this should be our final day, day 7, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day 6 in a row of 90-degree weather. I don't enjoy it when it gets that hot. All the curtains are closed, fans are on. Actually, I turned the fan in the living room off because it makes a little bit of a noise, and I figured that might be distracting. And yeah, I'll get better at this. I know I will. It's like anything else, right? If you listen to episode 1 or 10 or 20 of the podcast, and you listen to episode 307, excuse me, it just dropped today, you'll hear a tremendous difference. I'm told I have a radio voice now. Today's episode was on Muay Baran and the other Thai martial arts that are not Muay Thai. And hello, Zen Dragon. Got somebody watching and writing in. So yeah, hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's changed my life. Wow, it's 4 minutes already. I've said nothing. And I've barely drank my coffee. Am I supposed to drink it this way so you can see? That's awkward because the handle's here. I wanted the logo there, but I don't know if that's an option. We do a lot of on-demand stuff with our apparel and accessories. All of our training stuff is made in bulk, but because it's fun to experiment with new shirts and whatever, we do all that on demand. So we get a little bit less say because it's all automated as to where things are placed. All right, I feel like I'm getting long-winded, so let me kind of send you all out in the way that I ask guests on the podcast too, which is, give you something to think about today. I'm not going to say anything political. I'm not going to say anything. I don't even think I'll say anything controversial. I like to say things that make people think. So, what can I say that will make you think? Remember that being a martial artist isn't only when you have your uniform on or your belt or you're in the training space. Obviously, I try to stay away from style specific terms. Being a martial artist, training as a martial artist happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is the lifestyle that you lead, it is the attitude that you bring to everything that you do. A skilled martial artist approaches their day differently than a non martial artist. So I want to encourage you to look at the way you go through your day. How do you make things martial artist-y? How are you making the world better by being a martial artist? That's it. I'm going to try to do this every day as I have my coffee. It will not be absolutely every day because sometimes I'm traveling. But that's what I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Where do I end this? There's a way to end this. Is it this?